This is a message from your guides reading for the girl who shakes things. Okay, so I have 4 crystals here, and then I have a group rune. So I'm going to use my lapis lazuli to go ahead and surround us in some positive, protective space. Okay, I've got a guide coming up already. I don't know if I've felt this guide before, which makes no sense because I met like 5 of your guides, but this somehow feels like a main guide. But I don't know. This might be the kind of Pleiadian feeling guide that I've kind of felt, but hasn't really come up. It could be her. Yeah, I feel like it's her. But she keeps coming in with this kind of flashing star symbol, and she was tracing, when I was surrounding your aura in the protective space, she was kind of tracing your body almost like a star, like looking almost like a starfish kind of. And right away I'm definitely getting this kind of angelic feeling, like so not her, but that you've had some lifetimes in like an angelic type of realm. I also feel fairy as well. So I feel like you've had some lifetimes as different being types. I even feel like a mermaid kind of lifetime coming up. And I'm getting serious. So there are some different lifetimes that have kind of come up. I feel this energy almost like wind. It feels like wind on a beach, like this very like clear but kind of strong blowing wind. And it feels like at the same time there's this comforting energy with it where it feels healing, it feels refreshing, and it feels comforting. So it feels reviving, but on the other hand it feels comforting, it feels safe, nurturing. But there's this kind of, I don't know, almost wild kind of side with this energy, which this is coming from the guide. And I think that's a little why I was like, um, is this that guide, or is this a different guide? Because I think she's had some various lifetimes as well that she's kind of coming in with, and it feels like before, when I've tapped into her, I was just kind of tapping into one aspect, which just felt like this kind of brief, just Pleiadian kind of energy, extraterrestrial, but a little bit angelic as well. But she's coming in right now with a little bit more of that wild side, so kind of a mermaid kind of feeling with it, or fairyish kind of feeling, but at the same time not, because feeling really grounded at the same time, very a different kind of feeling, almost like a masculine angelic kind of feeling. Masculine angels tend to feel very grounded and um, kind of just like they have a very strong, clear sense of themselves, which kind of gives them an authority in a sense, but it doesn't feel authoritative or dominating exactly. It feels more like I'm very aware of myself. That's the feeling. So it feels extremely grounded, very present, and very clear. So there's some of that feeling there with her. So I get the feeling that she's been like a male angel before, or even an archangel, it feels like. Um, and then there's this mermaid kind of feeling. Okay, so either she's almost like an aspect of you, or you've both had um, just kind of similar lifetimes. Okay, I feel like you've had similar lifetimes. I don't feel like she's an aspect of you, but I do feel like she is kind of close to you because of your similar lifetimes. So it feels like your energies are even a little bit similar. And then it also feels like she knows you really well. Like she's had some past lifetimes with you before. And it kind of feels like she was actually your guide in a sense in those lifetimes, but it feels like in more of a physical way. So it feels like in general, she is like kind of, she's older. It feels like her soul is a bit older than yours. And so she can take on this kind of guiding approach. Um, and obviously, older also has to do with the amount of wisdom that you've retained. So you're looking at someone who is an older soul in the sense of they were actually there as a soul for longer. But there's also the sense of they learned enough to actually guide someone um, who is in a sense a younger soul than they are. But so in other words, what she's saying is that someone can be an older soul in the sense of they've been through a lot of lifetimes, but they haven't necessarily learned that much. So you're not going to feel that same understanding of the word old soul if you're feeling their energy. You're not necessarily going to feel that same amount of wisdom, whereas even from a younger soul, you might, you know. Um, so here we kind of get those things confused. So it's more about the level of wisdom and understanding. But I do also feel like she has actually just been around for longer than you have. She's had more lifetimes in general, it feels like. And so then she can kind of take this stance, this approach, where she's like a sister, or there's like even a mothering kind of energy, or just actually like a teacher or something like that. Um, where you are going to her for guidance. So it doesn't really feel like a younger sister. It would be like an older sister or an aunt or something. It feels like she generally takes on um, those kinds of titles or even positions in your family. You know what I mean? Not positions, but um, where she's an older person in your family than you are, an older sibling or an older sibling of one of your parents, or a parent. I don't feel the parent thing very prominent though. It feels more like older sibling or aunt kind of energy, or like a mentor or a teacher as well. There's those types of energies popping up a lot. Or it could even be a friend, but that you go to more for guidance, who's older than you, um, and who just knows more, has more information, or that you just feel drawn to in that way, like this person is supposed to be guiding you. Even if they're not like that much older than you, there's still that kind of feeling there, that like you're drawn to them in that way for that purpose. She keeps sending me an R. Hold on. But there's a P coming in as well. There's an R in her name. I feel like this begins with an R, but I feel like there's a P somewhere in this name as well, like a P kind of sound. I don't know why she's not coming in with any more or finishing. She's giving me the R, she's giving me the P, and I know there are some vowels in there. I feel like it's kind of a short kind of name. Like an R and a vowel and a P and a vowel. That's how it kind of seems to me. There might be something else there as well on the end. Um, so there could be like slightly more letters, but it feels kind of short. Um, it feels like an R and a vowel and a P and a vowel. Even if there's something else, that's what it's kind of feeling like. I don't know if she wants you to get the rest of this. Um, there's actually kind of a feeling like that. So I feel like she kind of gave you half of it. There might not be anything on the end. I'm not 100% sure if there is or not. Um, but it's an R and a vowel and a P and a vowel. So maybe you can meditate on that and get the rest of what that might be. Um, okay, so well, that was what you were asking about, actually. You were asking, one of the questions was getting to know more of your guides. So they are responding. And so now you have met this other one in more detail. So thank you very much for allowing me to do another reading for you. I truly hope that this benefits you. Namaste.